Hello, I'm Mark.
And I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we're going to talk solar and what you can expect. But first, we're going to roll that title card. Casey, go ahead.
Electrify all the things, baby.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. And today's a special day because our friend Patrick is going to talk a little bit about an article he put together on carswithcords.net. Patrick, take it away. Tell us what you know.
All righty. So we've had solar on our house since 2007, and I was pretty excited about it, and I still am excited about it. However, 18 years later. So usually here on the show, when we have an article, we talk about, well, that article. But today I want to do something a little different. Since I'm the author of this blog post, I wanted to go through how I thought about it and why I wrote it the way that I did and see if that makes sense to you all. And so you can read the article before or after this, whichever you prefer. And so ever since I was a kid, I wanted solar. I had back in grade school, a little solar-powered calculator. It had little solar panels right there above the display. And I just thought that was incredible. If the lights are on, this thing works. And you don't have to ever replace batteries. I was convinced that all handheld devices in the future would be solar-powered. Well, that hasn't happened. But you certainly can get it for your house and power all the devices that are in your house. So when we did that, our solar panels went on. I started blogging about it. And then as I'm writing about this, I was struggling with the best way to convey the impact that this solar is having. And you'll often see people say, oh, this could power a home for this many hours or this many homes or whatever. But if I said 10 kilowatt hours or 100 kilowatt hours or a megawatt hour, that just doesn't find a mental perch for most people. The idea of a watt hour is abstract. And unless you've studied power delivery systems or worked in the sector, it just flows through as techno jargon. So
Or know how to read the bill. A lot of people don't know how to read the bill.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, because it's abstract, right? It's not something they deal with. So I've been I put something more concrete on it. And then in 2018, 11 years after I started my blog, I think I finally landed on something that I thought would work. This is when the Tesla Model 3 started being shipped in mass. They were selling like hotcakes. These were popular vehicles, and they were fueled by electricity, and that could come from solar. So people understand driving, have your car 10,000 miles or 20,000 kilometers. These are things that people can get. And so I wanted to frame it in driving distance. And so I was looking at, okay, what route should I select? Route 66, a lap around Australia, the Cabot Trail in Canada, the long way up, the Pan American Highway maybe. But these were all too short. I wanted to go bigger. And so I came up with two ideas. The first was a lap around the Earth. If there was an equatorial highway, it would be about 40,000 kilometers or 25,000 miles. And these are distances that are long but comprehensible, right? I mean, if you've been driving for any number of years, you've clocked 40,000 kilometers or 25K miles. So I thought that was a metric that worked. And then the second metric that I landed on was driving to the moon. Now, if there's no highway at the equator, there's certainly no highway to the moon, but this is just a thought experiment, so why not? So depending on its orbit, the distance to Luna is about 384,000 kilometers or 293,000 miles. So given these large yet grokkable yardsticks, I use these to try to convey my rooftop solar production. So in the past year, we've hit 3 of related big milestones, and that's what this blog post was about. So in November last year, we had generated enough energy to drive our Model 3 to the moon and back.
Wow.
Yeah. And then on June 13th of this year, so just last month, we hit another milestone of 20 laps around the Earth. And then when I was writing that one up, I noticed that it was nearly 500,000 miles. So I logged this every month. So I went back and looked a little closer and found out that just 9 days later, we'd hit that milestone. And so I want to stress that these solar panels on our roof, they're nothing special. This is just a roof in a typical suburban home. And I'm in Oregon. I'm not like in California or Arizona or someplace super sunny. A lot of people could do this. We started in 2007 with just a 4 kilowatt install, and we have expanded it. But now we've created enough energy to power an EV through these solar system level distances.
Nice.
And looking at all of it, we've made 144,000 kilowatt hours of energy, and that's over $17,000 worth of electricity, and all with zero emissions, just generated and consumed locally. Green, homegrown, fresh and tasty energy.
Don't lick the batteries.
So there you go. So yeah, that's what the gist of the article is, and how I derived what the way I presented it.
And to drive the point home a little bit further, that these are not just just ordinary panels. Not only is he in rainy Oregon, he's north of our friend Mark in Canada.
That's true. I am
exactly.
Yeah.
And saying I have now generated enough electricity to drive to the moon and back again.
Right.
That really puts it in perspective. You're right. That's an excellent way of explaining the distance that you can actually drive on the electricity collected from the sun passively, just sitting on your roof over the time that you've had that panel set up. So hats off to you, Patrick. That's an excellent way of explaining it to the common person about what you're actually collecting on that roof, which most people don't even think about. Like
right.
We've got panels that are perpendicular to our roof. Most people don't even see it, and it just sits there and quietly collects energy every day that there's some sunshine to collect.
Right, from that big fusion reactor in the sky called Sol.
Right, from Sol. Another metric you can use on that is it costs the U.S. several $billion and quite a few tanks of swimming pool tanks of fuel in 3 days to get to the moon and then back. So you did it just by putting something on your roof. And it wasn't. I mean, you probably couldn't have done it without the space program, but that level of energy. Think about it, like that much energy went into your roof, and if you don't have solar and you've had your house for since 2017, 2007, sorry,
2007, yeah, was our first. Yeah,
that you've wasted. You've wasted the trips to the moon,
right?
But bake your roof tiles, and now you got to buy the roof for nothing. It could have been paying its bills like a kid. Kid, go do some jobs.
Right? Exactly. Yes. Oh yeah, I never thought about it that way. We did install a new roof in 2023, and I wonder if we had generated enough to pay for our roof.
And then you didn't start with a fresh roof, so your roof just kind of aged underneath it.
Right.
If you are already going to put on a roof and you don't do the solar shingles, solar tiles, you can put your roof on, and then you can put on your panels on top of your new roof, and your new roof will last even longer because it's not getting direct rain, direct snow, sleet, hail, and sunlight. So
exactly. Yes.
It's interesting that Patrick, that your suburban household, it wasn't even set up initially to maximize solar production. What you did is you just looked at the slope of the roof and which way it was pointing, and you tried for the best aspect that you could get. Can you imagine if communities were built with the collection of sunlight as part of the mantra of building those places? And I do have something for the listening public out there to look up. If you look up West and the number 5.ca, this is a community in London, Ontario, that put solar first for the whole community. So they built all their homes facing south. They put the largest slope on the roof facing south. And they purposely built the lines to put as much solar panels on those roofs as possible. In fact, they have some apartment buildings in the community that are about, I believe, 8 or 10 stories. And they started with just putting solar on the roof. And then they got the brilliant idea, why don't we clad the south side of the building completely in solar? So it hides the masonry, it becomes the exterior of the building, and it passively collects sunlight as well. So these are communities that have taken the next step and actually planned for collecting as much as they can, as often as they can, based on situating, building the foundations in a certain way, building the slopes of the roofs in a certain way. And Patrick, can you imagine if your house was, you would collect even more energy. And
You're right.
And then the house beside you doing the same thing, and the house beside it doing this, it would be a virtual power plant on steroids, because all of them could be positioned to actually collect the maximum amount that can be by building design.
Yeah, if I was house shopping, I would definitely prefer to see a solar community instead of a natural gas community. Or instead of even just bragging about it, just see all the roofs have solar panels on. That would be phenomenal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so our house, the roof is east-west facing. So we're not even south facing yet. I can still produce this amount.
Exactly. So there's really no excuse. If you're getting a new house at some point, consider talking to your builder about what have I got that could collect solar? What are the big areas that I could cover? Because really, in the cost of a mortgage that you're putting on the house for 25 or 30 or whatever years, you will collect that back in spades if you roll that into your mortgage and collect energy all the time that you're paying for that mortgage.
Right. Yeah. And if you have a large deck or whatever, you could have a solar pergola or awning. There's a lot of options. It doesn't necessarily have to be on your roof.
Exactly. So that's something that everyone should keep in mind. And certainly Patrick, with his blog on carswithcords.net, he's the living proof. He's the living white paper as he collects this information for the last 18 years. And more power to you, Patrick. That's a fantastic stat. Going to the moon and back in your car is a lot of energy and a huge distance.
Yeah, and that is a much better paradigm and narrative than how long till it pays itself back. What else in your life that you buy needs to pay itself back if you're not buying it for business?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your gas car is never going to pay itself back. Your whatever it. Yeah. So and you can. So certainly, when I bought it in 2007, there weren't great incentives at that time, and the tech was still expensive. But things are so much different now. They're so much more affordable. So if you can look at it as just the ROI from the cash side, but there's more to life than that. And this is when this was soon after our first child was born, and I was they were learning to talk, and I'm like, at some point, I'm going to get questions about why is the planet so screwed up, and what did you do about it? That's what motivated me to really get this going.
You were thinking ahead. You didn't want to be put on Dad on trial as to what did you do to fix this, Dad, because we see how screwed up it is currently.
Yep. I was going to blame the generation ahead of you for not doing what they could. So I'm trying to do what I can for the future.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And speaking of future people that'll be asking questions, one of them is just putting on headphones right now.
That's right. Yeah,
exactly. But that's an excellent article, and of course we'll put the link in the notes below. Certainly read the article. Send Patrick a note or two, either in this video or in the Cars with Cords discussion forum there as well. And we appreciate your input, Patrick. Thanks so much for keeping us abreast of what you're doing there in your virtual power plant with the fusion reactor in the sky.
Thanks, Mark.
With that, we want to thank everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up, press that subscribe, helps us out immensely. We want to thank Lee Moon for the music we use every week on all our shows. And Casey, what do you got for shoutouts?
Yeah, so catch the Other Express show, as well as catch us on Let's Chat with Casey and Friends over on Sunday at 1:20 ish Eastern in the afternoon.
Very good. Patrick, any shoutouts?
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at cardswithcords.net about my future free from fossil fuels. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next time and find out what's happening in the Tesla life.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.